I'm going to start with a bit of background information. It's well known that Dragon Ball's Son Goku was inspired by the character Sun Wukong from the classical Chinese novel Journey to the West. Now, not only does Oda also draw inspiration from Dragon Ball, there's a lot of subtle inspiration he took from the story of Sun Wukong as well. For instance, Luffy eating a devil's fruit just as Sun Wukong ate the forbidden fruit from Heaven's Garden, Luffy challenging the 4 Emperors of the Sea just as Sun Wukong fought the 4 Dragon Kings of the Sea, Luffy is on his way to becoming a king like Sun Wukong, and of course Luffy himself is very monkey-like, from everything from his name to his personality. Now, who exactly is Sun Wukong, and what was his story? While there's a lot more that happens in the Journey to the West, the simplest way to summarize Sun Wukong's character is that he was a monkey king who went and wreaked havoc in the land of the gods. Now, if this is partly the inspiration behind the character of Luffy, then we get some insight into the fundamental ideas behind the story of One Piece. One of the primary patterns of the series that we see play out over and over is that the One Piece world is filled with evil characters who seek to oppress and control the innocent. Characters who set themselves up as rulers with everyone else far beneath them. That is, until the traveling hero Monkey D. Luffy comes along and tears them down. As the story moves along, we begin to realize that this same situation that we've been seeing throughout the series is happening on a global scale. Everyone is under the hand of the world government, created by cruel world nobles who view themselves as far above the common man. Everything about the way Oda writes these nobles is deliberate. They live on top of the world, in a place literally called the Holy Land, where they've essentially been living as untouchable gods for centuries, just waiting for a certain monkey to come wreak havoc in heaven. This is the underlying conflict of the entire story. Oda wants the reader to understand that this world is run by powerful people who view themselves as gods, and no one has truly been able to challenge them. Oda takes extra steps to make this clear to us throughout Dressrosa in particular, using Doflamingo, the former celestial dragon, as essentially a fallen god who still at the very least considers himself godlike, hence the name Heavenly Demon. He rules Dressrosa the same way the world government rules the world, playing God from far above. The one thing the world government fears is the clan of D, who are said to be God's natural enemies. Oda has been telling us this since back in Skypiea, where we get a preview of this idea. Enel, a man with extreme power, declares himself God, and abuses his power to control and oppress people, till along comes this monkey from the blue sea up into his land of heaven to cause trouble. And in one of the most well-planned bits of symbolism in the entire series, we see that Luffy the Rubber Man is literally God's natural enemy, a sign of things to come. This is an idea that Oda pushes throughout the story, that there are those who consider themselves above all others, who act as though they are gods, who control and oppress the innocent, but are all eventually going to be taken down by this wandering hero Luffy, who as the embodiment of freedom is their natural enemy. We don't know exactly what the endgame of One Piece is, but we know that the world nobles are going to be torn down at some point down the line. And if Whitebeard's dying speech is anything to go by, one of the key factors in this happening is that a man will come along and challenge the world government system. Someone who is going to cause trouble for the gods. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, share, and subscribe.